So today on Project Shop, I'm finally going to get on this trailer and fix this axle. Years ago, I had a guy at the scrapyard. He was like on this side of the trailer. He dropped something with the magnet over there, boomed it down, let it hit the ground. The slack went in the chain. He articulated the boom in a little bit, and when he picked it up, it swung into my trailer and smacked the axle, and there was always a problem with it. Anyway, we're gonna get this thing jacked up from the back, put some jack stands under it so we got room to work. We're gonna pull the whole axle out, because what I actually need to do is cut this piece off right here. I have a new one, and weld it on. We're going to charge up the battery. Man, this thing's been a long time since it's used. Let's see if we got any power. Oh, we got power, but we got switches that don't want to work. Let's see. Oh, she's coming to life. So we'll charge it up. For those of you who've never seen this, I built this out of scrap. I did all that wiring myself, repurposed all this out of like house panels, and I left these in here. I put these in here so I can tap multiple, these switches and the switches from this control pendant come into here. And I actually have a wireless control pendant we're gonna add to this, and it's literally just gonna wire right in. And then we need to do something with the battery. I actually have a couple batteries. I think I'm gonna put a battery bank on here, because this thing, usually I just charge it up, and because it's not continuous use, the battery works pretty good. Plug this in. We might have to jump that battery. Sometimes these new chargers, man, if the battery's too dead, it literally tells you you got a bad battery. But if you take another good battery, jump it on there, put the charger on it, let the battery and the charger charge it up, it'll actually bring it back to life. And for those of you who've never seen this crazy looking apparatus, I pretty much built this out of scraps. And originally this thing started out as a 2-ton or 1-ton Harbor Freight crane that goes on the back of your truck. And then I just modified it. I added hydraulics, I added electric, I added a super extension boom on it. I built the rotation. It actually rotates. This is a winch. I put a Harley Davidson sprocket on it, some motorcycle sprockets, built the reduction, because originally I had this flipped up direct drive, and it was like a circus ride, man. It was just slinging shit everywhere. This hydraulic pump came out of a slab saw for cutting concrete, and then the various parts I just, you know, found. And then this has gone through a couple different renditions. Originally I had smaller rams that were welded here, and I had like this crazy cam system because it didn't have enough stroke to go from level to all the way up. So I actually had these little dogs in here that would rotate out like this, so this could sit flat, and then I could pick it up and rotate it, and it would be on an angle like this, but it would go all the way up. And the reason I had it like that is because this actually used to sit in the back of my other truck, which is the original bracket there. I took it out of the back of the truck. I always had it removable, and it still is. I can pull that pin there and remove that, or I could pull these pins out here and we can just remove this right off the trailer. And we're actually going to do that because this thing needs a whole rebuild. I don't know if you noticed, but that thing is kind of on an angle like that. I kind of picked up something a little too heavy. And then once we get the axle on here and we get everything situated, I'm actually going to drill more holes I'm actually going to just move this down so those pins fit here, and then I'll drill a hole here, and then wherever those pins fit, I'll drill a hole back here, because what happens is this thing is great. The problem is once I load a bunch of stuff right here, I can't reach back there, and I'd actually like to be able to load the front and the back of the trailer. So we'll see what happens. But today I'll pull this axle out, get this thing actually running again. Okay, this should come out pretty easy. I'm just gonna hit this off with some penetrating oil. Go ahead, see if you can't get them bolts off. I'll find them bolts you dropped. Okay. This axle came pre-wired for brakes. All right. Screw them bolts right back on here so we don't lose them. And then I had replaced all this stuff years ago, and I think I replaced all the springs except for maybe this one. I don't know. I've actually broken a spring once driving back from the West Coast. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel how I managed to drive back with a broken leaf spring. I put some blocks here, taped it up, and then I put straps to the front and straps to the back, and you know, as long as the axle wasn't moving around, it was resting right here, we made it back with a full load. All right, let's go to the other side. Still charging. What I like about this trailer is it's got automatic stuff. We are going to have to try to source a fender. Same deal. God, look at all the leaves under here. There's my car dollies. Now, be careful. Look, this is sharp because I cut that off. But this should come right out. Yeah, we're gonna feed it out the other direction. Okay, pick it up and let it go this way. All right. All right, come over here. All right. Let's just set it down here for now. Really ain't much to these axles. Okay, this is what we got. We have a messed up axle. I'm gonna grind this side off. We gotta grind it off right here, and hopefully get it as straight as possible. And then we have this replacement that we're going to just weld up in there. And I did get a new hub because the one was probably salvageable, but we're just going to get a new hub, new bearings, and new brakes. So this trailer will have brakes, which it's never had before. So I'm going to get right on it. We're going to grind this end off best we can, hopefully. without getting too wonky. Ah! Not bad. Okay, that wasn't bad at all. The only problem is there's a seam right there, and you can tell they like beat or drilled or something to get that. This one doesn't have it, but I use that round file and we have a nice matched, I don't know how matched it is. What I'm going to do is set this up on the table and figure a way that I can I got to be able to make sure everything is parallel and even with the other side. So I'm probably going to put the time lapse on, get this set up for welding. We're going to use the big boy welder so we can just burn this thing in, because there's no real way to clamp this. I mean, I guess I can kind of, yeah, there's no real way to clamp this, so I'm going to have to get it on there. The good thing is it fits kind of snug in there. Once it's in there, You know, that's nice. You got a nice V. We'll weld that in there real nice. Okay, I hope I got this thing parallel this way. There's really, I have no idea how I would check it unless I ran like a string line across these two pieces and across here. Maybe I could just eyeball it. That's a long way to eyeball, but I think we're good. This thing was actually, it looked clocked a little off, but it was square once I put that down. But this thing is pre-bent so that when you get weight on the trailer, the axle flexes out a little bit. So that thing was bent down just a little bit. It was hard for me to get on anywhere, but I was able to get a little bit off of here and off of that machine to finish right there. I'm hoping when I cut down into that, I cut straight enough to where it's not crooked. I mean, time will tell. We'll put some tires on there, and if it starts chewing them up, we know we got problems. So I went ahead and used a little 110 welder just to put some small tack so I can get this where I think it needs to be, because this welder just likes to lay down big beads, and that kind of worked out easy. So we're going to just get right on this. I want to get this welded up. I got to go get some dinner because I'm starving, and when I come back, we'll give this backside a coat of paint, and it's ready to be installed back on the trailer. Woo! Yeah, she likes to lay down some beads. For not being a welder, I think that came out pretty good. Let's clean it up a little bit with the wire brush. Oh, man, I shouldn't have touched that. Got a little glob right there where I overlapped take that down to make it look nice. Okay. Check our square. Yep. Yep. Perfect. So, like I said, I'm not sure about this way, and honestly, that's, in my opinion, the most important, that would be the most important thing. Well, it's too late now, so, all right. Let's, now I did grind that piece down, but look at that. Almost looks factory. Beautiful. You know, for not being a welder, man, sometimes I impress myself. So, I'm actually going to, I'll clean this side up a little bit. This sat outside, got still a little surface rust. It ain't nothing bad, but I'll clean that up. I don't know, that does look like it has the hole for the Zerk fit in. This one actually has the Zerk, a hole there, and then there's a hole back here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So I don't even have to take the hub off anymore. I can pump that full of grease and it'll grease the hub and hopefully prolong our thing and not wipe out bearings like I did last time. So I'm gonna let this cool down. I'm gonna give that a coat of paint later, and then I'm probably not gonna put this back on the trailer until the morning because it's already dark. Okay, we're back at it. It's another day. I'm going to put a quick coat of paint on that just so it doesn't like flash rust. Look at them welds, man. Anyway, and then I am going to take the wire wheel here, clean that up. Okay, this is where we're at. I packed the bearings, put the seal in there. Now this one here, I did clean and repack the front bearing. It looked absolutely fine, had plenty of grease. It actually, once I cleaned it, it looked brand new. So I'm assuming the one on the back is brand new, and there's plenty of grease up in there. So there's really nothing wrong with those. I'm not gonna mess with that right now because I don't have any more seals. And unfortunately, I don't have the nuts. These things didn't come with nuts for the backside. When you go to the trailer place, man, they literally charge you for everything. I bought this whole kit, right? But the kit did not come with like this washer, or was it this washer? It came with everything except for this nut. You know, they make you kind of buy everything somewhat individual, unfortunately. So, and then another issue I'm having is I think my battery charger took a crap. So I've had this thing, I brought 3 batteries out there, and I tested every one of these batteries. Every time I hit start, it immediately goes to bad battery. Okay, so I'm pretty sure all of these batteries and the 3 that I have out there are good batteries. I tested them with my load tester, and I literally had these all charged up not too long ago. I put the charger on them probably once a month just to keep them up. So I'm gonna have to look into getting a new battery charger. I'm gonna test one more set of batteries, which is my truck batteries. I know they're good, so if it tells me they're bad, we know we have a bad battery charger, which sucks because I literally just opened this thing up and I had to pull the wire out and fix that because the wire literally broke. I'm gonna open this up one more time, see if I can see if anything's wrong with it, but it's pretty much, these are throwaway. You can't buy anything decent nowadays unless you spend an exorbitant amount of money. So unfortunately, we're in the market for a new battery charger now. So at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead, install the axle, put the hubs back on, put the wheels on, and then I'm gonna make a list at the end of the video of everything we need to do to get that trailer back into tip-top shape. Okay, there you have it. First time in probably a few months this thing has moved and it's been hooked up to my truck. Now, she is ready to work. I mean, that axle was literally the only thing wrong that's stopping me from working. The crane's working. The battery is low and the battery charger's not working. So that's something I have to deal with. And then I made a list of things that I want to do, and one of them is I want to get 3 bearing kits and have all fresh bearings on here. There's nothing wrong with these bearings, I don't think, but since I put new ones there and I have to take these back off to put the brakes on, we might as well just get them fresh. Possibly try to figure out which leaf spring is the original one, because I replaced 3 of them not too long ago. And I know the one, whichever one is the oldest, or we'll see how much they are, we might replace them all. I want to do new lights and wires. I'm pretty sure these lights work, but since I'm going to be wiring in the brakes, we'll just go ahead and refresh that up. The brake bolts, I want to get 2 new fenders. This fender, I mean, I can probably fix it, but I need to I don't know, we might fix this one and get another one for the other side. I'd rather have 2 new ones. We're gonna have to refresh the crane. If you guys haven't seen, one of my first videos I ever did on the channel was I completely took this thing apart and rewired it to the state that it's in now. And most of the inside wiring is still good, but the stuff that's been sitting out, all that stuff down there, and the terminals is kind of corroded. Maybe I can make some type of new setup where everything is inside a box. I do have kind of some space for that, and I'd like to, I actually have a nice solar panel with a charge controller where I could put, I have 2 big batteries I want to put on here. I want to fix this box here. I actually need to build a frame so it doesn't do that again, and I actually have a new box for this. And then we want to tighten up this wire in here. This is just a mess. This thing is awesome. It still works. I love the automatic jack right there. This box here, I don't even know what's in here right now. Oh, we got nothing. Oh, we got a pulley block, a switch. Oh, that's a manual crank for that. But we want to set this thing up with some tools so that the trailer should always have a set of tools on it. And I do have a big inverter I'd like to put on this trailer. So with the solar panel, a battery bank, and an inverter, we could, you know, maybe not run a bunch of 110 stuff, but we could charge DeWalt batteries or whatever. Then there's a couple other things I want to go over. Like I said earlier, I want to drill holes, and then wherever I drill the holes, since we're basically compromising the frame, I want to weld a patch. Well, I'll probably weld the patch first and then bore the hole, because I want to be able to kind of slide that crane back. I really would like to slide it so that it pins here and here, so it's sitting over the axle. We don't, there's a lot, I think that crane weighs 700 pounds, so there's always 700 pounds of tongue weight. So we want to bring that back over to this first axle, and then we can totally use it to put stuff on the back. So we like to be able to keep this thing where we can move it around, and I'm probably going to weld a thing here in the front up and over, kind of like the front of this trailer has, something like a bulkhead, and then that'll be like the start of this sides I want to do. I want to put some removable sides on here. I had some stake body things for this, but someone decided to take them when they left the shop. I've never seen them again. But overall, I think today was a great success. Hopefully my weld job holds up. I do need to check the air pressure here. And another thing, I have some spare tires. I want to figure a mounting point where I can mount some, you know, this trailer needs. Usually I just throw the tire in the back of the truck, but then it takes up space. So I always wanted to have like something that slides in these things here, where I could just have the tire on here if I need to move it down to load something. One thing I love about this trailer is the ease of like loading pallets. Having a trailer like that is nice for the sides, but you can't load pallets on the side. You can only load them in the back, and it's hard to get them up to the front. This here, when I move the crane back over here, which we're going to do that when we refresh it, but I'll be able to load pallets and bins, you know, across this thing and on the back. And then I have to fix the gate that's broken, or the weld broke. There's nothing, that's not doing nothing. This whole gate will fall back unless I have a strap. Usually I would put a strap on it, and I think that's what broke that. Problem that this trailer always had is whoever welded this to begin with welded this. Now this one actually works. They welded this on an angle, so these gates always sit in like that, which is really kind of stupid. So I'm gonna cut that off. We're gonna straighten that out so that these gates sit straight up, because you actually lose the ability, you lose a lot in here. Like if I put barrels back here, there's a whole gap. Like you lose square footage. So we're gonna put it like this. And I might even, I've always had an idea to be able to lay these down and extend the deck. Because I've actually had to do that before. I had some really long racks on here, and they stood way out here. And what I did is I laid these gates down, I strapped the racks, and then I strapped the gates to the bottom of the rack. But if I took this, extended it up maybe 2 feet, made it really strong, and had a removable strap going that way, and then just have another strap that I can put this way, I can lay these down and pin them in place, run a bar. It has a C channel here. I can run a bar. We have to probably cut that off and fix it, but I could run a bar so these don't bend in the middle, and then we can lay that flat and extend our deck another like 4 foot. I don't know, that's just a thought I've always had, something I've always wanted to do with this trailer. But at bare minimum, we're gonna straighten this out and make it straight. I'm gonna start gathering up all the other stuff, and then we're gonna do a whole weekend where we pull this thing off. I'll do all the things one day, and then we'll do a whole refresh on that crane, and I'll show you how I built that craziness. I built that crane probably 13 years ago. It's gone through some modifications, but like the main boom section and the rotation was built 13 years ago, and that stuff hauled some transformers, man. First couple years, probably the first 3 years, I didn't even have a trailer. It sat in the back of my truck, and it just picked up tons, literally tons of transformers into the bed of my truck. Actually, my other truck, I had outriggers. I put a whole beam across the back. I still have all the parts, I think, to mount that. And I had it set up to where within 5 minutes I can just pull some bolts and pick this whole thing up with a cherry picker or a forklift and take it out of the back of my truck in case I needed the bed space. It really was a pretty neat system. I wish I had a YouTube back then. Anyway, if you've come this far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more trailer restoration. We got a lot of work to do here. This thing, I could put it to work right now, but we want to dial this thing in and get it in better looking condition, and then start hauling some scrap. I actually have a big boy generator to go pick up, so that'll be exciting. And then we'll get on to this trailer here. I actually have, it looks like hell because of the wood is old and faded, but I actually have diamond plate, enough diamond plate to line this thing. The wood deck is not really that bad. There's one spot over there that had a knot and it broke. I think I have a way I'm going to patch that, because the wood really isn't that bad. It just looks bad because of the wood, makes it look bad, but the frame is actually really good. And the other thing I want to do with this is we're going to make a new gate on the back. It actually has the pins for a fold down gate. We're going to do something like that, so this thing has a proper gate we can load, or you know, we can just slide it off if we need to load with a forklift. This isn't a very big trailer, but I'll tell you what, man, it's better than no trailer. So on that note, we'll see you on the next one. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrapyard.
Watch it. Look, it's dancing. You ever seen a copper dance before?
Man, look at all that copper. Man, this thing got red buttons and black buttons. Not sure what it is. Looks like some type of breaker or reset or something.